Welcome to the Cedar Hills Group Incorporated screencast. I am Chris Malik. Today we're going to give a short introduction into the dataDumper People Code application class that I created. We're going to talk about what the application class does, why I created it, and how to use it. First, let's talk about what the application class does. The dataDumper application class is a tool for PeopleSoft developers which aids in debugging people code. There are many times where trace files are just too robust and the people code debugger may not be available or may just be overkill. The dataDumper class is an excellent alternative. I created this application class for myself and have been using it for the last few years to debug people code. The code is freely available at my website at cedarhillsgroup.com. When I write custom people code, I tend to pass around a lot of PeopleSoft objects like records and row sets as parameters to methods and functions. I found that I often needed to just drill down on one small piece of code I was working on. I needed to see the state of certain objects and variables in some people code event. Maybe I was 6 levels deep in some nested function calls, and I needed to see what the component buffer looked like at a certain point. Or maybe I had a row set being passed in as a method parameter and I needed to see the property values expanded out. Trace files are not very effective at this as they log everything. Additionally, row set and record objects are not expanded out in the trace log. You can view the record and row set function parameters in the people code debugger. However, sometimes I prefer just to look at log files, and the people code debugger is not always turned on in all database instances. The dataDumper class allows you to easily dump PeopleSoft objects in an easy-to-read debug file and will dynamically expand writing out the object properties to a file. It handles opening the file on the application server directory structure, and you can even email the results to yourself so you don't have to fire up your FTP client. It can write out a string to the debug file. It can write out the PeopleTools record objects, including all the field names and translate values and other important properties. It can write out a PeopleSoft row out to a file, including all record objects on that row. It can dump a PeopleSoft row set object, including all rows and records in the row set. It can dump out array objects. There is some other functionality as well, which is documented at cedarhillsgroup.com. Now, let's briefly talk about how to get the application class into your development database. First, you need to get the people code from the cedarhillsgroup.com website. Just search for dataDumper and you'll find the documentation and code to download. You need to create a new application package. In Application Designer, choose File, New, and Application Package. Right-click on the new unnamed package and choose Insert App Class. Provide the class name of dataDumper, which is camel-cased. Then press Save and give the package name of chg_debug in all caps. Now go to cedarhillsgroup.com and download the text file that contains the people code and paste it into the dataDumper class. If you want to use the functionality to email the debug file to yourself, you need to make sure your application server or process scheduler server has a valid SMTP setting set.